Welcome to INN's Student. INN Student is a platform for law students to come here and deliver a lecture on the topic of their choice. Today we have with us law student Shubham Om Prakash Sharma. He is in his first year of law and he is from DTSS College of Law, Malad East. Today he is going to speak on strict liability and absolute liability. So without wasting further time, I would request Shubham to commence with his lecture. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Shubham Om Prakash Sharma, pursuing a first year LLB from a DTS College of Law, Malad East. Thank you for Hammurabi Tablets and their founder Shri Advocate Rahul Maskar, Sir Advocate Nikhil Dixit, Sir, for giving me an opportunity. Today I will be presenting on the topic of strict liability and absolute liability. The concept of a strict liability and absolute liability comes under the law of torts. Now let's understand what is a law of torts. A tort is a civil wrong that causes harm to another person and the result in the legal liability for a person who caused it. The term torts come from the Latin word tortum, which means something twisted or wrong or crooked. Here are some key aspects of the tort. First point, civil wrong. The torts are governed by the civil wrong, not a criminal law. Criminal law is aimed to punishment criminal. Will torts or law and aim to compensate a victim. Second point, types of harms. Torts can be cause many types of harm, including physical injury, emotional distress, property damage, loss of wages, and the damages reputations. Third point, liability. A person who commit a tort is known as a tort pass or defendant, and the person who wrong is known as the plaintiff. If the defendant found a liability, the plaintiff may be awarded compensation. Fourth point, remedies. The injured party typically seek monetary compensation, but less common remedies include the injection and the resultation. Some are example of tort included. First point, compensation. Our intentions act that involves a defendant taking up positions of the plaintiff personal property without a plaintiff consent. Second point, battery. Not is a battery, it's another battery. Intentionally using a force on the someone without their consent, with the intent causing injury, fears, and anyone's. Third point, false instrument, depriving someone the liability without a lawful causes. Generally, a person is liable for a own wrongful act, and one does not incur any liability for an act done by others. In certain cases, like various liability, the liability of one person for the act done by another person may rise. Liability can be classified strict liability and a absolute liability. So now I am going to start a main topic, that strict liability. Strict liability is a kind of liability that under the person is legally responsible for the consequence following for activity, even the absence of fault or criminal intent, a part of the defendant. It is basically a legally doctrine that hold the party defendant responsible for a action without a plaintiff having a proof the negligence or fault on the part of defendant. When any person involved in the ultra hazardous activities such as keeping a wild animal, using exploding or making a defective product, then she and he may be held liable if any person or injured because of the activity, even the defendant took a necessary precaution and followed a safety requirement. Now I will be explaining you about the landmark judgment with the case. Ryland vs. Fletcher case. In defendant got a reservation construction through the independent contractor. There were a hold unsaid safety under the site of the reservation, which as the contractor failed to observe that and so did not block them. When the water was filled in the reservoir, it bursted through the shift and flooded the plaintiff coal mine and adjoining the land. The defendant did not know about the safety and had not negligent but held liable. This is also called a no fault liability. In this case, the liability resolution was a strict liability. Example, even if a defendant was not negligent, did not cause any intention to harm, he could be still liable under the rule of strict liability. Essentials of the strict liability. There are three essentials of strict liability which are followers. Dangerous thing. According to this rule, the liability of for escape things from the one land arises only when the things collected was a dangerous thing. In Ryland versus Fletcher case, the thing was a large water body reserve. The rule is was applied and to gas, electricity, vibration, wedges, explosives, etc. First point, except for the rule of Ryland versus Fletcher case, to apply is essential that thing causing a damage must be except area outside occupation and control the defendant. The case of Reed and Lyons Company is an example for a no escape, hence liability. In the liability, the plaintiff was an employee in the defendant ammunition factory while she performing a hard duty inside the defendant factory. While performing the duty, the independent Riza shell which bring a manufacturer the exploded and she is injured. There was no evidence of negligence on the part of the defendant. He held the defendant was not liable because of there was a escape of the things defendant premises. So the rule of Rylands and Fletcher did not apply to this case. Second point, non-natural use of land. There should be a non-natural use of land make a defendant liable, like a Ryland and Fletcher cases. Collecting the large body of the water considered a natural use of land. In a Sochaki versus Sas, it is been held be having a fireplace in a natural use of land. Even there is a escape for a fire from place and plaintiff suffer harm. The defendant were not held liable as the no use of natural land. Exceptions of the rule of strict liability. The following exceptions to the rule of having a recognized by the Ryland versus Fletcher and some later case. First point, Act of God. Act of God was also considered to the defenses against the action of strict liability if the actions have been enforceable and takes place because of supernatural force without any human intention, and the defense of the act of God can be pleaded. In case of Nichols and Marshland case, the defendant created an artificial lake on this land by damming up a natural stream. That year, the extraordinary heavy rainfall by which embankment constructed to lake gave away the roots of the water wastage were plaintiff from Forbridge. The plaintiff brought an action to recover the damage for a sum. It found that no negligence from the defendant's side. The accident was considered as an act of God. The defendant was not held liable. Consent of the plaintiff. When the plaintiff has a consent to accumulate of the dangerous thing defendant land, the liability under the rule of not rises. Such consent implied were a source of damages for a common benefit of both the plaintiff and the defendant. In the case of Taylor, the plaintiff hired a ground floor of the building from the defendant. The upper floor was occupied by the defendant. Water stored on under the floor leaked without any negligence or the part of the defendant. The water destroyed the plaintiff goods and the ground floor as the water has been stored for the benefit both the plaintiff and the defendant was not held liable. Third point, act of the third party. If the harm of the cause due to the act of the stranger who is neither the defendant's servant or neither defendant any control over him, the defendant will be not liable this rule. Thus, the Box versus Job case, the overflow from the defendant reservation was caused by the blocking a drain by a stranger. The defendant was not be liable. For that, fourth point, statutory authority. A act done under the statutory authority is a defense action for a torts. The defense is also available when the action under is a rule, Ryland versus Fletcher cases. Statutory order, however, cannot be pleaded as the defense when there is a negligence. In a green case, the defendant company held a statutory duty to maintain the continuous supply of water. The main aim belonging to the company bruised without any negligence on its parts. The conclusion which the plaintiff premises flooded with the water. It was held that company was not liable. Company was encouraged in performing the statutory duty. Fifth point, plaintiff own default. Damage caused by escape due to plaintiff own default was considered to be a good defense in the Ryland vs. Richard case. If the plaintiff suffered damage by his own intention into the defendant properly, he cannot be complained for a damage so caused. Now I am coming to absolute liability. The rule of absolute liability is a simple word, can be defined as a rule of strict liability, means the exceptions. In India, the rule of absolute liability evolved in case of MC Mehta versus Union of India. The fact of case, some oleum gas leaked in a particular area in the Delhi from an industry. Due to leakage of many people were affected, Apex Court. The Apex Court involved in the rule of absolute liability on the rule of strict liability state that the defendant would be liable for damages caused without considering the exception to liability. In a Bhopal gas tragedy, the rule of held infamous Bhopal gas tragedy which took place between night to 2nd and 3rd December in 1984, leakage of poison gas from the Union Carbide Company in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh had been led major disaster. Over the 3,000 people had lost their lives. There was heavy property flora, fauna, and the case filed in the American New York District Court as a Union Carbide Company in Bhopal was a branch of the US based company. The case was dismissed owing the injection. The government of India enacted the Bhopal Gas Act 1985, sued the company of the damage behalf of the victim. The court, applying the principle of absolute liability, held the company as liable and ordered to pay a compensation to a victim. Absolute liability, absolute liability is a doctrine that is simply to a strict liability, but with the even fewer exceptions. Under the absolute liability, a party held fully responsible harm or damage caused by the action, regardless of any precaution they took, without any exception or defense based on the natural or activity. It often applies in case of involving a very hazardous activity or environmental works. What are the characteristics of the absolute liability? First point, no defense. In an absolute liability, the defendant cannot be used as absolute liability, like due to negligence, lack of knowledge, or responsible precaution. The only things that matter is whether harm was caused. Second point, more strength than the strict liability. Will a strict liability allow to some defense, like a showing that harm caused by the plaintiff own action as a third party invention. Absolute liability leave on no room for such a defense. If the defendant engage in the hardest activity, they are liable for a resulting regardless how careful they were. Third point, on the focus on the dangerous activity. Absolute liability is often imposed in a situation involving an activity that poses a significant risk to the public safety or environmental. These could be included things that like a resale or toxin substance, dangerous chemical, major industrial accidents. Fourth point, public policy consideration. In the rationale behind the absolute liability is a citizen activity are the dangerous that a party encouraging in the them should be fully responsible harm they cause to protect the public and ensure safety. Examples, there are some examples, chemical factory that cause some nearby resident due to accident release of the toxin gases could be held absolute liability for damages, regardless of the whether the factory took every responsible precaution to prevent a leak. There are key differences. Strict liability permit to some exception, or will absolute liability remove the all exception or the defensive making a more stringent and the compromising. In summary, absolute liability is a more rigid form of liability applied in the cause of hazardous activities, where the party engaged in the always liable for any harm caused regardless of any precaution they took. I again thank you to team of Hammurabi Tablet for giving me the opportunity and of listening to patiently. Thank you.
Shubham, thank you very much. It was nice to hear you. It was a nice overview of what is strict liability, what is absolute liability, and in your lecture you have nicely researched because you have spoken about a lot of case laws in your lecture. So thank you very much. A small token from Hammurabi to you.